Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak. So I have actually decided to take the summer off. Now you might be listening to this a little later. However, over the next 10 weeks, I'm bringing you content and things I've been sharing in different outlets. So it's been a few different things. I want to take some time off to really be with my kids. Also, the camp that I usually have my kids in a couple times a week just didn't have space for me this year. So I kind of had to rearrange my summer, and I've decided to just be with them this summer and spend time with them because, they're only this young for like now. So I have kind of reshifted things, and this is just a time for me to take a break. However, I didn't want to leave you hanging. It was a really, really big decision for me to kind of go and take a break. I usually bring you episodes every week, and that's a thing I love to do to make sure that I'm there for you. And so I'm not fully gone. I'm just sharing things that I've talked about in the past that I haven't talked about here necessarily. So good, juicy, amazing stuff. Just I've shared it elsewhere, and now I'm going to bring it here to you. So it's actually going to be over the next 9 weeks. There'll be episodes for my Wow Wednesdays that I did a few years ago. And the last one, it will be an episode from a coffee chat that I did. It was on Facebook Live years ago as well. So like I said, good, juicy, awesome stuff. And I just wanted to share it with you here. So get comfortable and enjoy. And welcome to Wow Wednesday with me, Jody Misiak. And last week we talked about just making a list of things that you love, not worrying about how it was going to happen, just writing down that list. And I also had a little slip and kind of gave you a little hint of what today's focus is. And it's figuring out why. Why do you want those things on your list? Why would you like that? So for me, I mentioned that I want to get on stage, and it's just this deep down feeling of like what I'm meant to do. And it's just like to share with more people in more like face-to-face interaction. And yoga is also the same, like where I just want to share with more people and really embrace yoga on a whole new level. I find the more I learn about something, the more I can understand it. And I always find whatever I teach, I learn more from, if that makes any sense. So it's just those things, and it's figuring out the why. And then the move is the mountains and ocean are calling me, and I just must go. I gotta go. And it's just, for me, I've been reconnecting with my soul. So for me, it's making my soul shine, doing things. I've been doing so many things for other people for years and years and years. And I was doing things like, for my kids, like, and we're still doing, like, obviously the kids, are still very much a part of my life. But I was always making decisions based on what other people thought of me. For my extended family, I always was making decisions based on what other people might think or feel or need. And over the last year, I was really focusing on what makes my soul shine, what makes me happy, and then finding a way, because I'm not just my own person. Like, yes, I want to make my heart and my soul shine, but I also have 2 kids and a husband. So it was taking that love that I have and making my soul, making my what was making my heart sing and smile, and really working as a family unit to make stuff happen. But my why is just deep inside, is that knowing that a big change is in store for my business, for my personal life, and for my location. And here's a better why, because that was pretty big. That was a pretty deep why, and it can get more than that. Like for me, it was just I've been called to move to another location. Like, yeah, it's just this deep knowing. But let's go with a why that's more, maybe a little bit more relatable to you. Because like you can break it down like to further and further. And I could probably sit here and think about like where it really stems to. But I really do love water. I love being near nature, and just the thought of being closer to water. Like it takes 2 to 2.5 hours to get to a really good beach here. Hence why when I mentioned last video where my grandma had a cottage, or she just sold it, as it was a half hour from here, and it wasn't in the best of waters. It's more of a boating lake, and I'm more of a swimmer. However, it was that place that I could go really easily. And so that's where it really made me think. And this is not something I don't want you to make any life changes like this without just realizing that this was something that's been in the works for over 5 years. Like my husband and I have been putting things off for more than 5 years, actually. And it's our thoughts that have been holding us back. So I don't want you to just like jump in without like, just pause. Don't do anything rash. I don't want anybody like coming back and be like, but you said do it. Be with it and figure out your why first. Really be there. And so here's a better example of my why is my weight loss. So eating healthy and moving my body is it's been super important for me. Oh, and that's one of the biggest reasons yoga is such a big part of my life, is come back into my life, because I, got away from that for a little bit with my kids when they were babies. But it's become a family thing now. But I want to be flexible, like literally limber, and I want to be able to go about and play with my children. And I want to have that energy. And I want to be here for my kids as long as I can. So a great way is taking care of my body. So that's a big why for me. So when I, have cravings or I'm lazy and I don't want to work out, I lean into my why. And that's really what it comes down to. Having a why for what you want to have helps you when the going gets tough. Because here's the truth. The going's going to get tough. And yes, it's about thinking positive and things like that. But the truth, you sometimes got to face the truth. I've had to face a lot of truths recently. And it's really comes down to owning it. Like there's going to be blocks. Life throws you obstacles. And I feel that they throw you obstacles to almost strengthen your why. And when you don't give up, you show the universe, you show yourself that you do really want this. And it's, if you just stop at your first roadblock, at your first detour, your first challenge, and you give up, what does that say about what you want or your why even? You got to make sure that why is strong, super strong, and it has to really be in tune with who you are. So there's a fun process. Like you can do a why, and then you can break it down and you can keep further and further. And because some of our on surface whys, like it could be like you want more money. It's like you want to live in like a nicer home, or you want to move to a new neighborhood, or whatever it may be, why you want more money. Maybe you want to vacation more, but get down to the why. Like why would that, to bond more with your family, to bring you more peace, or just know that you have enough. What is your why towards everything? So it just helps you get through those times. One of the biggest things, because every time I stumble, because it happens, I run my own business. I've actually had a point where I don't give up anymore, because I'm like, why even say I'm going to give up? Because I know I won't. My why is too strong. I want to help people, and knowing that I have something to give, and it's my job to help people. I have moments though where I feel like I want to give up. Yes. But I don't say like, oh, I'm going to give up now. Like I don't have that anymore. I feel it sometimes. I'm like, okay, why am I doing this again? And you get back into your why. So one of my biggest things I've been saying to myself, and I actually have it posted up on my desk to remind me, is the how is less important than the why. I'm going to repeat that. The how is less important than the why. I was getting so caught up in the how. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? How? Live in your why. And when you live in your why and you come from that place, you can be inspired. You can be motivated. When you focus so much on the how, you get overwhelmed and then you don't do anything. And that just keeps you stuck where you are. So if you keep grounded in your why, it's like you have those superpowers and you just are super strong, and less things will keep you from doing them. Here's a couple examples. So sharing your dream with others. Let's say you share something and somebody's like, oh, you can't do that. Or, you don't have enough money to do that. Or whatever it might be, those words. Your why will keep you grounded with those comments. Now, I've also learned, don't share your dream with people that are going to put it down. There's no point. If they don't have faith in you, they don't deserve to know your dreams. Now, if they support you and they motivate you and they lovingly care and even be like, hey, how can I help? Embrace that and welcome them in. But just know that you don't have to share your dreams with people that don't share the love and support or don't have that love and support for you. However, when things come up, when you are grounded in your why, things like that bounce off a little bit more. They sometimes can still hurt. We're human. But if you're grounded in your why, less things knock you down. Remember, your why helps you to really, when you feel like giving up, it's your reminder. So a big one is look at your list from last week, all the things you love to do. You maybe even see a pattern. Maybe the things on your list are like, they all come back to one why. Maybe they don't. Maybe they have all different whys, and that's cool too. It's you. Like, do you. So just take a moment and journal on your whys, or write it down on your piece of paper. But just think about your why. Why do you want these things in your life? Why would they make you go, wow? Why would they make you go, wow? Take some time today, or at least this week. I always find, though, if you put it off too long, you're not going to do it. So try and do it as soon as you can. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Till next week. Bye for now. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. I will be back on September 10th with all new episodes of Loving Me, Myself, and Life. So until then, relax, enjoy, keep listening. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so, so very much. Thank you so much for being here and listening. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.